Alright, hey guys, and welcome to a FNAF merchandise review video. It has been a good while since I've done one of these videos. So I used to do review videos for FNAF merchandise a good few years ago, mainly with Funko stuff. So I've done some videos on some Funko action figures, some Funko mystery minis, etc. But recently, Jazwares has come out with their own Five Nights at Freddy's plushies and also Five Nights at Freddy's action figures. And these guys look so good. And I was like, you know what? I want to spice things up a little bit. And I want to actually make a video going over the Jazwares FNAF merchandise. So for this first video, I'm just going to be going over the FNAF plushies from Jazwares. But I do also have the action figures. That includes both of the Indo series for Freddy and Bonnie. And I do also have all four of the toy animatronics. So if you guys want, I can do a review video going over the action figures in a future video. And if you just want to see more FNAF merchandise review videos from me in general in the future, make sure you like that. Lets me know that you guys want to see more. So anyways, I guess let's go ahead and hop straight into it. So there is 6 plushies in total for wave 1. So up first we have is Mr. Freddy Fazbear, and he looks fantastic. The thing I love about the Jazwares plushies is that with their coloring especially, they are super accurate to the original characters, because with like the Funko plushies and even the Snatchy plushies, they were kind of faded colors, but these guys, they actually have some more darker colors to them. But anyways, Freddy Fazbear is a simple character. You know, he's a brown bear, he's got his black top hat, his black bow tie, and he also has some blue eyes. So instead of these plushies having the bug eyes, these eyes are actually imprinted into the actual character, so that way their eyes aren't bulging out of the mask. And honestly, I think they look way better with the eyes like this instead of them just, you know, bulging out of the mask looking kind of goofy. One thing I really do like about the Jazwares Freddy plushie, and even with the Bonnie plushie as well when we get to him, is the actual head shape for the plushies, especially with the cheeks on the side, because that's something that's kind of hard to recreate with the FNAF 1 characters, which, I mean, obviously Snatchy and also the Funko plushies do have that cheek shape for Freddy and Bonnie, but I feel like the Jazwares plushies have just done a really good job on recreating the actual head shape. And these guys, there's no visible teeth. Freddy Fazbear does not have a tail, in case you are wondering. So one small detail, but I thought it was really cool for the tags for these plushies, is that it actually has the name of the plushie. So for all the FNAF 1 animatronics, they are just called the classic animatronics. So right here we have Classic Freddy. So it'll actually say the plushie's name on the tag. That's something that the Funko plushies were lacking. I want to actually get a close look at his bow tie. Yeah, look at that bow tie. Ooh, I love how the bow tie looks. And then also something else is that the noses for these plushies are actually fabric instead of a plastic, which, yeah, I like the fabric noses way better than the plastic noses. So you can go up to Freddy Fazbear and just boop, boop his nose, boop. What's that face, Freddy Fazbear? But anyways, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about Freddy Fazbear. So, I mean, the only other thing I guess I could say if I had a criticism with this plushie is, the only thing I guess I would change is maybe make the eyes a bit more of a dark blue than a light blue. That's pretty much the only criticism I have with this plushie, is that I would just want the eyes to be a little bit darker. But other than that, I really do love the Jazwares FNAF 1 Freddy plushie. So let's go ahead and move on to the Bonnie plushie. I'm going to set Mr. Freddy Fazbear over here to the side. So next up we have is Bonnie the Bunny. Again, just like Freddy, I mean, you know, Freddy and Bonnie basically have the exact same body shape in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, except for the head. So Bonnie has his red bow tie, and Bonnie's bow tie is more plushie-like, kind of like the same texture as the rest of his body, where Freddy's bow tie is more fabric-y, I guess, if that's a way you can phrase it. Also, something I wanted to say while I was holding the Freddy plushie is that I love the way these guys feel, because, like, again, with the Funko plushies, and because, you know, when you think of a plushie, you think of something that's like soft and something that you could cuddle with, and these guys have just the right amount of softness to them. They're not like insanely like over soft, like way too soft, and they're also not like super, I guess, firm, if that's the right word to say. But these guys just have the right quality of softness to them. So Bonnie, you know, he's lacking his eyebrows. Bonnie does not have a tail. In case you guys don't know, the Funko Bonnie plushie actually has a tail for some weird reason. I don't know why they did that. But this guy doesn't have a tail. Just like Freddy, his eyes are not bug-eyed. He's got that fabric nose, which I really like. I love the ears for Bonnie as well, because with the Funko Bonnie plushies, the ears are just constantly straight up, but these ones will actually bend a little bit. So if I were just like hold the ear down for a bit, then it will actually bend a good bit. So that's something I do like with the ears. And I mean, that's pretty much it to Bonnie. We have his tag, which says Classic Bonnie. Again, I do love that the tags do actually have the characters' names written on them. And if I had to change something about the Bonnie plushie, I don't know. I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is maybe the bow tie, give him like the same fabric texture that the Freddy bow tie has, instead of it just being kind of like a plush material for the bow tie. But besides that, I think Bonnie's fine. I'm fine with his eye color. So there you guys go. That is the Bonnie plushie. So next up we have is the Chica plushie. And the cool thing about the Chica plushie is that it actually comes with a little cupcake companion. And yes, the cupcake is sewn on to Chica, but that is amazing that cupcake actually comes with Chica instead of it just being Chica by herself. And then you can also see that the Chica plushie does have a lighter stomach, lighter feet, and then also lighter hands, just like the Chica plushie from the actual Five Nights at Freddy's games. That is something else with the Jazwares plushies, is that they actually do stay really true to how the FNAF plushies look like in the FNAF franchise. So I gotta respect that. So instead of just giving them like orange feet like the Funko plushies, this one actually has the same light yellow texture that the Chica plushie has from the FNAF games. So anyways, the Chica does have a bib, Let's Eat. The only thing is the bib is kind of small, because like the Let's Eat like kind of gets hidden underneath her chin, so it can be kind of hard to see. So I guess that's one criticism, is like it's just kind of hard to see, especially like the top of Let's Eat. It looks like it's just getting kind of cut off a little bit. So if one thing I would do is either make the bib a bit bigger or just like, you know, lower the text. But if we do actually turn Chica over, you can actually see that the bib does come around the back of her. So that is a nice detail right there. We have her tag where it says Classic Chica the Chicken. Mr. Cupcake, he has his actual body texture, I think that actually fits well for the base of Mr. Cupcake. He's got his yellow eyes, he's got his little candle, which the candle is, it's a little weird. It's just like a, you know, just a super flat candle. I mean, I guess that's one other thing, is I wish the candle was actually a bit more 3D instead of it just being, you know, just a 2D candle slapped on top. But at least he has a candle, so gotta give him that. We got Chica, she has her eyebrows. I love her eye colors. I actually really love the Chica head, because again, oh my gosh, if you guys have seen the Funko Chica plushie, oh, that thing is ugly, man. What happened to Chica the Chicken? Chica the Chicken was not having a good day. But yeah, that's really my only criticism, is the text on the bib. Maybe it's just with this Chica plushie that I actually got, but I just wish the text was just a little bit lower, so that way you can actually properly see the Let's Eat. Oh yeah, also I love how they did the feathers for Chica's head, so they're actually kind of like curved outwards. So there's been some weird Chica plushies with the feathers on the top of the head, but I do actually love the feathers for the top of this head. And also, in case you guys are curious, these guys are actually just slightly bigger than the Funko plushies for a size comparison. I would actually get out a Funko plushie and show you guys, but I have them in this display case. Right here we have the Sinashi plushies, and then underneath them I have the Funko plushies, but I would have to move this whole display case to actually get them all out, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. But anyways, there is Chica. So again, I think this is awesome, especially the fact that Chica comes with Mr. Cupcake. So up next we have is the final FNAF 1 plushie, and that is Foxy the Pirate. Oh, Foxy looks really good. Something very weird with Foxy plushies is Foxy can be a really weird character to turn into a plushie, because, you know, you have Foxy's shorts, and then you also have Foxy's hook. But again, like I said earlier, the thing I really like about these plushies is that they stay true to their FNAF 1 variations. So Foxy doesn't have any pants on, and Foxy doesn't have a hook. And honestly, I think the plushie version of Foxy really looks good like this. And it's kind of hard to see, but Foxy does actually have 2 visible teeth. He has a white tooth right there, and then he has a slight gold tooth on that side, but he does have that fabric nose. He has his eye patch, which the eye patch, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably my only criticism about the Foxy plushie is the eye patch. But I guess that's one thing I do actually like about the Funko plushie, and even the Sanashi plushie for that matter, is that the actual eye patch will actually kind of bulge out instead of it just being imprinted on. Again, I think the eyes being imprinted on is, or I guess sewn on, is actually really nice. But the flat eye patch is just a little weird. I'm fine with the actual rope part of Foxy's eye patch being, you know, sewn on, but I just wish the actual eye patch would actually just bulge out of the head just a little bit more. And then also that way you could actually see that it's kind of like curved instead of it just being directly straight slapped on right here. But anyways, we have Foxy's eyebrows. I like what they did with Foxy's eyebrows. Instead of just giving him like solid black eyebrows, they actually gave him his red eyebrows that he has in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. He has the one yellow eye, and he does actually have the tufts of fur on the side of his head, which I really love how they did this. Again, I'm just really loving the head shapes for all of these Jazwares plushies. So he's got the 2 bits of tuft of hair slapped on the side of his head. We have his tag, which has the classic Foxy written on it. And I mean, that's pretty much it to Foxy. He does also have his little tiny bits of hair sticking out of the top of his head. But yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, the only real criticisms I have is the eye patch. Again, I wish it was bulging out a little bit. And the eye patch does actually end right here, which, I mean, that's how it does for FNAF 1 Foxy, so that's fair. But anyways, that is it for the Foxy plushie. So up next we have is the puppet, the marionette. And I really love the body for the marionette right off the bat. Obviously, the puppet has the 3 buttons, has 2 stripes on each leg and also each arm. We have a puppet's tag, which just says the puppet. Now, the only thing about the puppet plushie is the face. I'm not gonna lie, the face is a little weird, but you do actually have the same mask shape, and the mask does actually come out on the sides for the cheek a little bit. The back of the head is just completely solid black. I guess the only thing that's kind of like throwing me off for this plushie is the eyes, which, I mean, in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the marionette does have like super slim eyes, but on this plushie, it just looks a little weird. And we do have Nightmare On we're going to check out, and you can see over there, Nightmare On has these big wide eyes, but the puppet has like these super thin eyes and stuff. So I just wish the eyes were a little bit bigger. They don't have to be as big as Nightmare On, but I mean, that's the only real criticism I have with this puppet plushie, is that the eyes just seem a little bit too small. But again, I know that's how the puppet looks in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. But anyways, puppet has the red cheeks, the red lipstick, the purple tears, and I mean, that's pretty much it to the puppet. The puppet is a pretty simple character. Oh yeah, I guess one other weird thing about this puppet plushie is when you look at it from the front, it looks fine. But if we actually get a side view, especially with the head, it just, because like the head is kind of like on the same level. It barely sticks out of the body. So I wish the head would actually bulge out from the body a little bit more, especially on the front right here, because it just makes the plushie look kind of flat with how it is. So that's my only real criticisms with the puppet plushie, but I do still think the body of the puppet plushie looks really good. But anyways, we are now moving on to our final plushie for this video, and that is the Nightmare On plushie. And this is actually the only exclusive plushie in Wave 1. So again, Wave 1 has 6 characters, 5 main plushies, and then 1 exclusive character, and that exclusive character is Nightmare On. So Nightmare On is actually a Hot Topic exclusive, and the cool thing about the Nightmare On plushie is that the eyes will actually glow up in the dark. So I'm not gonna lie, on the surface, Nightmare On is a very weird character to have in Wave 1, because I mean, Wave 1 has the FNAF 1 plushies, it also has the puppet. The puppet is a recognizable character, but the Nightmare On is a bit of a random character to throw into the mix until you kind of stop and think about the fact that there's Nightmare On plushies all over Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and then this plushie actually looks just like the Nightmare On plushies from FNAF Security Breach. And I mean, it is also, you know, an exclusive plushie, so it's a different variation of a character that's already in Wave 1, since the puppet is in Wave 1. But I think it is kind of funny that Nightmare On is a Hot Topic exclusive. Honestly, that's really fitting for Nightmare On. So anyways, Nightmare On has the same stripes on the arms. There is no stripes on the legs. However, the legs are just solid black. If you look very closely on the torso, obviously Nightmare On doesn't have buttons, but you can actually see the rib cage outline for Nightmare On. So I really like that they did that instead of just leaving the whole body solid black. Nightmare On does have that same head problem as the regular puppet, where the head just looks kind of flat on the body. Again, I wish the head would actually bulge out of the body a little bit more. But Nightmare On doesn't have any cheeks, but Nightmare On does have the black tears, the black lipstick, and also the sharp teeth. And also Nightmare On's mouth is way wider than the puppets, and then obviously the eyes as well. And then we also have Nightmare On's tag, which straight up says Nightmare On, so there is no Hot Topic logo slapped onto the label whatsoever. But there you guys go. That is all of the plushies from Jazwares Wave 1. So I'm assuming probably for Wave 2, there'll probably be the toy animatronic plushies or something like that. But I really do love these plushies. So how would I rank these plushies? First place, I'm gonna give to Freddy. I'm gonna give Freddy Fazbear first place. Second place goes to Bonnie. Third place, I'm stuck between Chica and Nightmare On. The thing I really like about the Chica plushie is that she comes with the cupcake, but Nightmare On's also cool. Alright, I'm gonna give third place to Chica the Chicken, only because of Mr. Cupcake. And then fourth place is Nightmare On. Fifth place, I'm giving the Foxy. And then last place, I'm giving it to the puppet. Again, I just think the puppet's face, mainly with the eyes, just looks a little weird. But I do still love the plushie, do not get me wrong. So there you guys go. And let me know how you guys would rank these plushies in the comments down below. Who is your favorite plushie ranked to your least favorite plushie? But there you guys go. So that is it for this merchandise review video. Again, I really do love these plushies. And like I said at the start of this video, I do also have the Jazwares FNAF action figures I can do in a future video, only if you guys want me to. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!